Good evening, Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, here in Sarasota, Florida. Video 12 of 30 in this series entitled Touching the Soul Through the Heart, Body, and Mind. Today is the video where I want to try to describe a dream that I had in April of 2022. So just over 2 years ago. And I remember it very distinctly. My ex was staying at the house because I was in the midst of one of my longest gigs, it's a 8-day gig that is over in St. Pete. It's the gig where that got me started in this industry, the St. Anthony's Triathlon. And I've been working it 21 years. So this was year 19 that I was working. And for the first 4 days, I commute back and forth from St. Pete. And I do this because of my little kitty cat. I inherited two cats in January of 2016, 100% unplanned, and they changed my life. Mr. Shadow Cat, we had to put to sleep on June 6, 2022. So I now just have little Peony, who's 15 years old. And neither one of them did particularly well when I left, especially Peanut. I'm her fourth owner, so she has some very real abandonment issues. And it is one of the reasons that traveling for me is incredibly difficult. I absolutely hate leaving her, even though I have got a number of people over the years who have been fantastic that have stayed with her. Now, at this time, my ex, this was after a couple of years of not seeing him. I reluctantly was letting him back into my world as a friend. And he was staying at the house in the guest bedroom at this time because I had such long days. It was going to be 8 days and then overnight for 3 nights once the weekend came. So he was in the house, which I thought was really, really interesting on this particular night when I had this dream. He was in the guest bedroom, and I'm trying to remember. No, Mr. Shadowcat was still alive. Mr. Shadowcat was diagnosed with dementia, but I recently had a veterinarian friend of mine tell me that there is no such thing as cat dementia. Whatever he had, he did not leave the guest bedroom. That became his bedroom for the last year and a half of his life. He never left that bedroom. That was his bedroom. And he sort of did some crying at night. It was so hard going through with that poor little kitty's last months and last year. So Brandon, my ex, was in my bedroom and I was on the couch. I let him have my bedroom. Shadow Cat was in the guest room, and the other room I don't have a bed in it. And I had the most incredibly beautiful, amazing, vivid, clear dream that night. And there are many in the spiritual world that say when we dream at night, that's actually the more of the reality, and that the waking life is the dream, that this is actually the dream, and that when we go to sleep at night, we actually touch in way more to the greater truth and the real reality as opposed to our waking state. Now, I'm not here to debate that or discuss that. I'm just going to tell you, I've had some very, very vivid dreams over the course of my lifetime. I don't vividly dream a ton, but this one was magnificent. And I can't believe I didn't wake up and write it down or capture it on my recorder. I can't believe that I didn't capture it or try to, I can't believe it. But I remember enough of it where it has remained activated, and I want to try to share that. So basically in the dream, it was funny, the way that I perceived myself. I don't know if anybody out there remembers the original Lion King, the 1994 Lion King. And when Simba is being shown by his dad, they're on top of and looking out at the safari, and Mufasa is telling Simba, this is all yours. This is what you will be king over, one day. And little Simba, cute little Simba can't believe it. And it's like the whole safari is that was sort of the vantage point that I was on in this dream. So I was like on a cliff overlooking. And in this dream, person after person after person in my lifetime was coming to me and like standing next to me and showing me out over the metaphorical safari around, like down below. They were like, look, and they were coming, they were like, Alyson, this is what my look at what I've created with my life, my unique creation, following my unique path, and not, believing that it's possible that absolutely all of my dreams and passions and everything that I would want for my life, this is what I've created with my life. And they'd come and they'd present it. And I was just, and I'd be like, just unbelievably excited, because one of the things that makes me unbelievably excited is witnessing other people having, being excited, being happy, certainly being in their elements, certainly engaging in their passions. And so, and if I can participate in it in any way or help connect something that makes that happen for them, that's part of what I think my work is and what my dream work is. So like one person would come and it was just be amazing, right? Because they're stoked and their life is beautiful. And then another person would come in my life and they're like, look what I've created, look what I've created. And it was like person after person. And it was just like, and I can't say that when I experience a lot of things in color, hence, if you look at my paintings that I do, and yes, the paintings that I've been changing behind me have all been mine, you can see I use a lot of color. There's a lot of energy. So a lot of what I remember in the dream, it wasn't, I couldn't tell you like the specific people per se, and I couldn't tell you what the specific things were in their dream lives that they were presenting. I experienced it more as color and vibration, and that like color is the thing that dominates, right? Just beautiful unfoldings of color, harmonizing colors, if that even makes sense, right? So person after person after person is showing me their dream life. And after I don't know how many people, it was like then all of a sudden, it like brought out of me, like that was my greatest dream. Because the biggest thing that I'm, and why I kind of get frustrated, is because I cannot believe the extent to which, okay, let me phrase it this way. When I go out, like okay, I'll use the Iron Man world as an example. So many people I work with in the Iron Man world really, really, really were happy and seemingly loved what they did, which was awesome, which was so great. But the confusing part to me was that even though they seemed like they enjoyed themselves, we were, it was not easy work. 80-hour a week gigs, back to back, and like in the fall time working like, 4 or 5 of them in like 7 weeks, 80 plus hours traversing the country. Like it wasn't fun by the end of that stretch. And I remember thinking, how are these guys, like this is, if like if you could choose to create your life, like I was just like, well, where can I find the people who want it to be a little bit more balanced? Like, this is great, this is awesome, but I don't particularly like this particular combination of things, right? Like, I don't particularly like working 80-hour work weeks and barely sleeping and eating like crap. That's not particularly enjoyable, and it doesn't serve me very well. So, like, where are the people who are that excited about work, that are choosing to create something a little different, right? And I couldn't really, the race world is all I've really known as a steady employment other than the farm. And the farm folks were, I wouldn't say the farm family was comprised of the happiest folks. There was a lot of struggle with my farm community, and I could identify a lot more with my farm community than I could with my Ironman community in a lot of ways in terms of those struggles. So I'm here to sort of, I'm out trying to create my dream life. And it's pretty crazy how much I've been able to do it despite the sacrifice. There's been a tremendous amount of sacrifice, but I don't care about the sacrifice because every bit of this I'm creating. And even though I bust my butt with the event world, I still end up having a fair amount of time to myself to live the balanced life that I want to live, to live the quieter, simpler life that I want to live, to create artistic things. And, so I'm doing it, but I'm still pretty solo. Now, what has really ignited this is my business partner is really the first person that I've met in almost 12 years of launching into this, who's out there really working to create his own dream life as well. And he's not chasing it from like, he's doing it from the heart, from passion. And it's so unbelievable. And so, which is crazy because even though I had known him and have known him for 10 years, we didn't embark on this until a year ago. And this dream of mine was 2+ years ago. And in this dream, it was like, as soon as like, it was like I really couldn't experience my presentation of my dream life until enough other people in my world were doing it for themselves. So in this dream, as person after person, and after whatever the last one was in the dream, oh my God, the elevated feeling the elation that I felt, and I keep doing this because it's like a spiraling up. I've had some psychedelic experiences with a similar flow of the energy. It's like a spiraling upwards energy. And that's what comprised this dream. So as each person came, it was, oh, I have to conclude this video a little abruptly. So I'm going to conclude for now. Suffice to say, the dream was awesome. My ex came out from the bedroom and shared in it a little bit. I was able to share, and I think that dream is coming true. All right, that's it for tonight. Sorry for the abrupt ending.